So yeah, I think we have Cedric the Entertainer, Blueface,
Cedric.
and I believe LNLE Choppa. Wow, it just got dark in here. What's going on?
What's going on here? I'm getting a little nervous. Ladies and gentlemen, we have not the one, not the two, but the 10th wonder of the world. Okay? My man, The Undertaker.
What's up, champ?
I'm talking.
Happy to see you too, man.
How you doing, my man?
Hey, how you doing?
You know, Bash, his team won the World Championship last year.
Yeah, man, with the Rams. Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations.
Thank you, my man. Pleasure to have you, man.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. It has been a minute. Yeah.
Good, brother.
Oh, man, smoke and mirrors, you know.
Oh, man, tell me about it. So tell me, man, the people want to know how you get started in this business.
So I needed something. So I needed something. I needed something legal to do. No, I'm just kidding. No, so
that's understandable.
No, I was actually in school playing basketball, and I was a big fan as a kid, and I'd kind of gotten away from wrestling, and when I was playing football and basketball and doing all the other sports, and then I went on to college and was playing basketball. So my coach, between my junior and senior year, my coach is getting all these inquiries from like these European teams. And, he's telling me like, hey, you're getting a lot of interest. You might get a tryout or something over there. They just want you to get a little bigger. So between my junior and senior year of college, I start training. I was already weight training, but now I'm training to really get big. Because even at 6'8", 6'9", and 230, that's a big basketball player. Mm-hmm. But in the world of professional wrestling, I look like a giant walking stick. I mean, it just I was thin.
How you put the weight on?
What's that?
How you put the weight on?
So, like, just changing the way I train, the weights, like eating just stupid. That's all I did was train and eat, and just to the point where it was just like, oh, I don't want to eat anymore, but. Mm-hmm. You got to eat, and that's eat and rest, and
that's what the sumo wrestlers do. Huh?
Yeah. I wasn't looking for that sumo physique, but
they eat, sleep a lot.
Yeah, they do, and I did, but I ended up showing up for my senior year of school. Now I'm 280 pounds.
Wow.
It was.
What did you do, man?
My coach looked at me the first day when I got to school. He looked at me and immediately, and he was an old school coach, right? Like, he equated size with being slow, and he just thought everything, he thought all my skills were going to be diminished. And so he bans me, day one, bans me from the gym. He said, you cannot work out.
Wow.
And I'm like, coach, but like I can jump higher, I'm faster. Anyway, we butted heads. And we got off to a really bad start. And one day at practice, now I'm already training too. Now I'm training to wrestle. I'm playing basketball. I'm trying to do all of this and go to school. I'm trying to do all this stuff, right? But man, like it's in me already. It's just like, this is what I'm going to do, But I'd made a commitment to my teammates and everything that, I was going to try and make it through the year, and just like, man, I was struggling. And it happened one day at practice. We were doing a drill. Coach was like, throws the ball up, tip drill, and then you hustle, and everybody was terrified of me. You got a bunch of guys that are
the monks there.
Everybody, these guys are like 6'9", 6'10", but they all weigh $180. Uh-huh. And here I am at about 280, and just mean and aggressive, and I was just nasty, and everybody was terrified to do drills with me. And this kid, he was a freshman, and he's about 6'9" and about $185. And I don't know what he was thinking. And coach throws the ball up, and instead of jumping, he cut into me. He took my knees out. Whoa. So he was so light in the ass, so like it knocked him down, and then I fell down, and like I wasn't even thinking, man. I just got up, and it was just like, man, the switch flipped on me, and I walked over. I got up and I stepped on him, man. I was like, you ever undercut me like that? Because, you know, he could have took my wheels out. I mean, that would have been done, right?
Yeah.
I saw a basketball player do that before.
Oh, man. Yeah, it was dirty.
Yeah, I
and,
could be
you know, I
dangerous.
think he was just, I don't know what he was thinking. But anyway, as soon
He
as
didn't do that anymore, did he?
No. Well, he didn't, not with me, because that was like, my end was coming. Like, the coach throws me out of practice, right? He flips on me. Although the guy undercut me, coach throws me out of practice, right? I might have been a bit aggressive, but, you know, he's like, all right, Calaway, you're out. And it was at that moment, man, bang. I was like, I'm done. This is over. This
What
part
made
of
you
my
go
life.
to wrestling, though?
Well, so I'm already trying to, you know, I'm training and I'm trying to get my foot in the door somewhere. And so that incident just kind of took school, basketball, that took it all off my plate. So now I'm solely focused on, you know, trying to train, find people to train me. You know, I wasn't a legacy in the business, right? So I didn't have any ends anywhere. You know, I didn't know anybody in the business. I didn't, you know, so I mean, I'm starting from ground zero and just trying to get in wherever I could and, you know, try and get myself in a spot where people would see me.
How you get discovered?
So, so I was in the Dallas area, and at the time, Fritz von Erich ran.
Kerry Van
Yep.
Erich family. Right?
So Fritz was the father of all those boys, and he had a local wrestling promotion there. And I knew on Wednesday all the wrestlers and everybody would show up like to get their checks. And now we're going back. This is like 86, 87, you know. So I was like, I'm gonna show up. Somebody's gonna see me, and they're gonna be, you know, they're gonna be so impressed with me that, you know, they're gonna give me a job. So I went every Wednesday for damn near 8 months. I went and I'd sit down on a couch like this, right? And there was, the guys would come in this way, and like the guy that promoted and booked and did everything, his office was right here. And these guys, I'd catch them here, they'd walk by, I'd start to stand up, so, you know, introduce myself, they'd never stop. They just kept walking. And I was like, holy, 8 months I did that. I didn't know, or didn't have anything, you know, I didn't know anything else to do, right? And I know it had to start here. To go anywhere else, it had to start here. So it's just like week after week after week. And I was about to just kind of give it up. Just like, well, this ain't working. I'm gonna have to try something else. And one day Fritz walked in. Now here's the crazy part. So I'm a young kid. He had already lost one of his boys. He'd lost, let's see, which one was it now? Wasn't Kerry, it was David. No, not David. There's a ton of them. David Von
The
Erich.
last one.
David was,
Kerry was the last one.
yeah, Kerry, well, no, Kerry was the last one to die. I think it was David. And,
Wasn't that strange?
oh my gosh, it's tragic, man. It's a tragic story. But he had lost David in Japan. And I just happened to resemble, I mean, he looked at me, he stopped. Fritz walks in and he stops and he's just staring at me, right? It ain't the normal kind of stare at somebody like, you know, this kid's you know.
Is that knew you from somewhere?
Exactly, he's looking at me. And then he turned around, he went to another guy's office, his name was Bronco Lubitsch, and I could hear Fritz had this really deep, gravelly voice, and, you know, he's like, who's that kid out there? And he's been coming here for weeks. He's trying to get booked. And then I heard him say it, and I was like, he goes, book him Friday night. He looks just like David.
Wow.
Came back out.
You were bigger than David, though.
Oh yeah, I was much bigger, but my hair and my face and everything, you know, I looked like him. He comes back out. I go to get up. He keeps walking, goes into the office. He never says a word to me. But then that Friday night, that's how I got my start. I was in the right place at the right time when he came in, and it was kind of crazy, but you know, that's how it all got started. It was
Sheesh.
yeah.
I think that speaks on your character too, your persistence, right? Because at that point, it's so easy to just throw in the towel, but you just kept showing up.
Yeah, that's, you know, I think that's kind of been one of the things that have helped me, you know, because, you know, I had there was a lot of obstacles and roadblocks in the way. Like I said, I didn't have anybody, to help me in the business, and it was just like I knew this is what I wanted to do, but I don't know how to. This is the only thing I can think of, and even that I was getting at the end of it, and I was like, man, this isn't working either. I'm gonna have to try and figure something out. And then like I said, I was fortunate enough to put myself in the right situation, but yeah. So then my first match, right, was with Bruiser Brody.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Big showing a lot of heads.
Oh man, man. Oh.
Hey, listen, didn't he die?
Yeah, he was killed in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, stabbed him.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That was.
See, I know my wrestling.
Yeah, you do.
I know my wrestling.
Yeah. So I get there and I'm all excited, and they say, okay, you're going to work with Bruiser Brody, and I'm like, Brody, okay. So I'm a young man. I know that how the business works a little bit in the sense like, okay, just shut up, get in there and do what you got to do. It was strictly to get, Brody a win because he was getting ready to work with Abdullah the Butcher, and So anyway,
Big old black guy with white shorts.
Yeah,
long
yeah.
shorts.
They had a long history. Abdullah and Brody had a long history here and Japan and everywhere. So I know the score, know what's going to happen, and I get in the ring and I lose my freaking mind. Like, I'm standing there now. I'm 6'8" now, and by this time I'm 300 and something pounds, and I'm looking at Brody and I'm like, I'm bigger than he is. That was the worst thought that ever come to my mind, because I'm like, okay. Because you have, Brody was like this bigger than life character when you see him, and he's got that, like I said, you got the hair, and he's just, I'm bigger than this son. Okay.
Looks good.
And oh God, that was the worst, so we lock up in the ring, and he's trying to help me. He's like, kid, he's like, relax, kid. Like, I'm like angle iron. You couldn't have moved me. I'm just locked on to him, right? He's like, all right, kid, relax, kid, relax. And I'm like, yeah. So I back him up into it.
Because I'm a mushroom.
I push him back into a corner, right? And we're kind of, we're kind of just kind of hand checking each other, and like I go to shove him off, and somehow or another, like. And I meant to hit him in the chest, but I somehow, because our hands are up, I hit him in the face. And man, his whole demeanor just changes on me, and I'm like, okay. So I go, anyway, so we're in the match again, and I lock up with him, and I'm going to try and throw him off, and he turns it around, and out of nowhere, he come up with that big furry boot of his, kicked me in the head. I'm like, holy shit. I'm in a whole different world right now. Now it was time for me to get one of my first lessons and don't fuck with the old guys, because they don't play.
Because before they used to do it for real.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. I mean, yeah. To a degree, it was a lot. It was a lot rougher.
And stuff.
Yeah, it was a lot rougher back then, and guys didn't. Especially with I'm a greenhorn, right? And they don't want anybody trying to make a name on themselves.
When I was a little kid, I used to remember Vern Gagnon, Bruno Sammartino.
Oh yeah,
those are my guys.
Yeah.
Victor
Rivera.
After the new year, keeping fitness goals can be challenged to keep up. You may know that Fitbod is an easy and affordable way to keep you motivated and keep you working towards your goals.
We all start the new year with the best intention when it comes to sticking to a fitness routine, but sticking to it can be very hard. That's why Fitbod app is changing the game.
The app switches up your exercises to avoid overtraining or burnout while keeping your workout fresh and fun.
Your program also changes basis on your personal progress for the maximized result. Keep up your fitness habit with the personal workout program from Fitbod. Get 25% off your subscription, or try the app free at fitbod.me/hotboxing.
That's FITBOD.me/hotboxing.
Wrestling's come a long way, man.
Oh, amazing.
I learned a valuable lesson on my very first match. It's It's just like, yeah, don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why you're supposed to sit down, shut up, and and watch, right?
Yeah.
And it was just, I'm sure, you know, when you come into the league,
No.
you want to test somebody, but
Yeah, no, it sounds exactly the same with me. At least sounds like, you know, rookie year,
Yeah.
you just kind of just sit there and just shut up and just try to soak everything in. No.
you feel like you got to make a name for yourself, but there's
You have to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you want to make sure, you know, you don't want to be a bitch, but then you also
Don't want to overstep.
you don't want you
Yeah,
can't
very
overstep, right?
respectful.
too.
Yeah, because those guys are there for a reason and been there for a reason, and that was
And some of those guys are bitter.
yeah, oh yeah,
They see you making all this money. They were getting their brains kicked out. It was more physical back then. They were getting peanuts.
yeah. In fact, they shortly thereafter, they were trying to ship me off somewhere else to a different territory, and Brody actually stood up for me. He says, "You know what? You need to keep this kid and get rid of some of these other in a locker room full of old crusty veterans, right?" And he says that, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, well, that's kind of cool that Brody just
That is cool.
stood up for me, but he's about to walk out of this room, and I got to look at all these old dudes that are like, screw this kid, man. Who do you think he is?
Some of them gave you a chance.
Oh yeah, Brody. I mean, I ended up actually getting a few of his bookings after he got killed.
Yeah.
You know, and with Abdullah and everything, I got a chance to work.
Abdullah's dead now, right?
No,
Really?
Abby's still alive, man. He lives in Atlanta.
He's serious.
Yeah.
Abdullah, but he's American?
Yeah.
I thought he was from Saudi Arabia.
From the Sudan. That's where, yeah, from the Sudan. But that's a kind of a difference of where we are to now, where we're at today with talent and where the guys were back then. The guys always protected their, you didn't know, like everybody believed like that Abdullah was from the Sudan. And,
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, everybody did. And there wasn't social media and all that other stuff going on.
You ever see the Sheik?
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he scared the shit out of me when I was a little kid. I lived in
The
Houston.
real Sheik, not the Iron
Yeah,
Sheik.
yeah, not the Iron Sheik, the Sheik from
They always cutting his forehead.
I don't know, maybe 10 or 11 years old. I was living in Houston, Texas. My mom had got some tickets, and the Sheik was coming in to work with somebody. I don't remember who he was going to wrestle. And me and my buddy across the street, man, we were talking mad. Like, yeah, man, when the Sheik comes down to the ring, we're going to jump on the barriade, and we're going to say this and what's
That's
right.
You remember the Sheik now, you too young.
So yeah, he was like, he wasn't a big guy, man, but everybody was terrified of him, man. Sometimes he'd come out with a snake, he threw fire. I mean, he was,
Cutting himself in the
yeah,
forehead.
he was a mess, right? And it's actually his you heard of Sabu? It's his father.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Sabu's dad. And so anyway, man, we got ourselves all psyched up, and we're out there, and we're right on the rail, right? And they're about to come down, and we start yelling at him, and he makes just a lunge at us. Yeah, we damn near took out the whole row trying to run because we thought the Sheik was coming to get, he was going to get us, man. We wiped out this old lady. I mean, we were hauling ass trying to get out of the way.
Sheik is wild.
But so all those things, they left seeds, and later
Where was
on,
the Sheik from?
I think Detroit. I'm sorry, bro. I'm ruining your childhood.
You ruining my childhood.
Yeah,
I'm fucked up now.
yeah. But
I
that's
thought
just,
these guys were from the other country.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, and that's how they, that's how we were protected our business back then. Is
Yeah.
If you were from the Sudan, you were from the Sudan, and you
Yeah.
didn't let anybody know anything different.
Do you think social media kind of makes it harder for those type of stories now in wrestling in that type of way?
Yeah, for me it does, and just our fan base in general, like they're more concerned now with the shit that's happening, behind the scenes. Not so much what's going on in the ring. They want the dirt, right? It's just like anything else in our society, and it's all social media driven. Everybody puts their life out there so it's hard, it's hard for me watching everything. Like, okay, you're this guy on TV, and then you go on social media, and then you're somebody completely different.
Yeah.
So for me, it's kind of a huge disconnect. But I mean, it is. It is what it is, and that's where we're at. So, I don't necessarily like it, but there's nothing I can do about it. And,
For sure.
And it's just the way it is. But I think it's pretty. It makes things harder. It really makes things harder to have, good storylines and people invested like you are. Like you wanted to believe that Abby's from from the Sudan,
From the Sudan.
but it's just
Did
guys
you know,
give everything away.
Did you know Big John Stud?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I met him once. Isn't he a monster?
Yeah. Yeah.
Big John Stud.
Man.
But I can't believe people grow that big.
It's so funny. So you talk about big guys. So Andre didn't like Stud at all.
I bet.
Andre didn't like big guys. Fortunately for me, he liked me.
Thank you.
But Stud, he did not care for. He on several occasions damn near killed Stud.
Wow.
Oh, Bigelow, all those guys, man. He was.
This Bang Bang Bigelow?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm surprised those guys didn't jump him out in the streets or something.
A couple of them tried.
Yeah, tell me about that. Tell me, please.
Yeah. So I want to. This was a little before my time, but I remember Andre sitting at. The story goes he was sitting at a bar, and then a guy by the name of Blackjack Mulligan.
Oh, I know him. Mulligan and Lonzo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Blackjacks, right?
Yeah.
So Mulligan was he was a big dude. He was like 6'8", 6'9", three bills, and just a hair trigger, man. I mean, he would snap just like that.
Those guys were different than the guys. These guys know now, I'm going to go this money. Those guys didn't give a fuck. They wasn't getting paid too much.
No, and then there was always the, everybody had to keep their, I don't know what do you call it now, your street cred. Like, if you're a tough guy, you had to be a tough guy, right? Anyway, so Mulligan evidently goes up to Andre. Andre's sitting at the bar drinking and just hauls off and sucker punches him. Wham. And he had somebody with him. I don't remember who was with him, but Andre ended up beating the both of them, like beating the crap out of them. Just, and that was no easy task.
Yeah.
And Lonzo, I don't know those guys.
Oh yeah, they were bad.
I remember them as a kid.
But Andre, if he could be alone if he wanted to. Like, everybody called him the boss, right? And he was. And if he didn't like you, you just need to stay away from him because he's so big,
I
so
saw him
strong.
sitting with Donald Trump when they had a fight.
Yeah. I mean, Andre
Listen, I watched this story and he died alone,
Yeah. Yeah, his story's kind of sad, man.
He couldn't sit in any chair. He's just too big.
Yeah.
Really?
He never stopped growing. Yeah, he had that, I think it was called acromegaly.
Yeah.
Acromegaly,
It's called strongman disease. People are born strong. Never lift weight. It's born strong. You don't got to go to the gym. It's a freak thing.
It's crazy.
What do you think that's from too much testosterone born with?
No, I think it's I think it starts in the pituitary gland. That the pituitary gland never stops growing, and so so his organs, everything, just always continued to grow, and then, couple that with his drinking. I mean, that man, he could put it away.
How many steaks did he eat? How many steaks at one time?
I mean, he ate a lot, but it wasn't so much what he ate as more so what he drank. Man. I mean, he could.
Oh, that's sugar.
He drank a lot, man, and the guys that hung out with him, his handler and everything like that. Bless his heart, he was a little dude, and he had to sit and drink with Andre all night long. And the stories he had, man, like there's one time Andre passed out in the hotel lobby, and they couldn't do anything with him. I mean, you can't pick up, 7'2",
he's like
500
pounds.
Oh, he's 500 pounds. Yeah, I mean, and asleep.
That's a huge man.
So they just brought out some linen, some blankets, and covered him up in the lobby until he decided to wake up. And I was on here's a good Andre story. I was on a plane, and we were on a red eye coming out of L.A. headed back to Dallas.
How was that ride with him? In the seats and stuff.
So think about Andre. So Andre always sat in first class, right?
Had to.
And so that that spot, the overhead above his seat, that was Andre's. Like, if you got on the plane before Andre and you put your in that spot, it ain't gonna stay there. It ain't gonna stay there for long. And this guy come, I'd already boarded the plane. And I'm sitting there, and I see the guy come in, puts his bag. I don't think anything about it. Guy puts his bag up there, and then he wasn't even sitting in first, right? He was like 2 rows back after first class. And then here comes Andre, right? So Andre carried the Halliburton suitcase, metal suitcase. He sets it down in his chair. He opens the bin. He looks in there, and he looks this way. He looks that way, and nobody's claiming it. So Andre just takes the bag out and doesn't set it down. He just kind of takes it and drops it right in the middle of the aisle. He takes his bag, sticks it in there, boom, and he sets down. So I'm laughing to myself. I'm like, he just took that bag and he don't give a damn, right? So then I'm sitting there, and I'm kind of just laughing about it. And then I see this guy that put the bag up there crawling. He's crawling up the aisle. And he's reaching up to grab because he don't want Andre to see him, right? So he's trying to grab this bag and scoot it back down and crawl back. And I was laughing. The guy finally got it, and I went, "Hey, boss." He turned around. That guy was like looking at me like, "Why you want to do me like that, dude?"
He do everybody like that? He just didn't give a...
No, he was a good dude. Andre was a really good dude. He just, he believed certain things, and he believed if that was his seat, that was his spot, and, he was going to move it. But that's just the way he was. And if you weren't business and you didn't take care of the business and you didn't, Andre don't care. He didn't care. Like, you can drink, do whatever you want, but when it comes time to go to work,
it's time to work.
I can go to work, right? No excuses, no, you know what, I was out too late. Business was business. And that was kind of the way he approached it.
How many guys you saw fight? You ever see Ultimate Warrior get into a fight with somebody?
No. I wrestled Warrior quite a bit when I first came up. And, I don't think he would have been able, Warrior was so high strung.
Oh.
Like, he would get there.
That's why everybody loved him.
Yeah, but he'd always run down the ring full speed and bouncing around. But the thing was, after he did that, he was gassed.
Yeah.
Oh, he's blown up, dude. He couldn't hardly breathe.
Yeah.
And I used to.
I thought he was on drugs. I ain't seen no guy like that before. He was ripped.
Oh yeah, he was. I mean, he was real. Yeah, his physique was kind of ahead of the times.
I'm not talking about steroids. He was doing some other kind of.
Yeah, he was right. He was medicated. I'm pretty sure.
That you ain't normal. That's not normal.
I used to, he liked me and he wanted to work because we used to run separate towns. Like Hogan would be in one town and Warrior when they were the 2 top dogs, right? And so I was wrestling against Warrior, and I think it was like Sergeant Slaughter and Sheik were wrestling Hogan, and we're outdrawing them. Right, so Warrior loved me, but every once in a while I got to have fun somewhere, right? So like I said, he'd come down the ring, he'd shake the ring, shake the ropes, and he's like he can't breathe, So especially my character early on, like you could hit on me, bang, boom, boom, boom. I didn't still right. I'm Michael Myers. I'm walking through everybody. And every once in a while, I'd want to mess with him. And, man, Jim would go through all of his stuff, and he'd hit me. I'd just keep coming, right? he could hardly breathe. And finally, he'd be like, "Mark, come on. Are you going to sell anything tonight?" Like, I'm like, "All right, Jim. All right, come on. Let's do this." And he couldn't get it out. He was so out of breath that.
Hulk told me he didn't like being in the ring for a long time. That's the reason.
Yeah.
He said, let's close this something. He used the term, in wrestling term, let's get it over. He said, no, you're going to hold me in the headlock for at least 5 minutes. Then I'm going to slam you a couple of times. Then you're going to throw me to the rope. And then I'm going to pin you. That's what happened.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to let him finish that. Because that's what Hulk Hogan said. He wanted to finish it right away.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was good for about 10 minutes. And then, then you didn't know what you were going to get. Because he couldn't. He's turning purple, and so there was a little oxygen depletion
I know,
going on
like,
there.
with the lights,
Everybody
is
said,
it
this
so
guy's
hot on
crazy.
the stage? Like what? Like
Just he was so big and
Yeah.
strong, but
so much exertion.
yeah, I mean he's
Yeah.
a lot of our
I was heard.
players.
I was heard when you're in the meetings talking, and somebody's talking in the center. He sits by himself.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, see, that's what they told me.
He was so funny, man.
Sits by himself.
So he ended up changing his name right to Warrior, and so this is the early '90s, right, when a lot of people were taking like denim and airbrushing them. So he wanted to write everything he owned off, right? So he would have this denim, and then he'd have it completely airbrushed. Like he's got his picture all over it. It's Warrior down this, Warrior across the back. I mean, he was just like a walking billboard for himself. And we'd be sitting in an airport early in the morning. Like we traveled, back then we'd be out on the road, sometimes 20, 25 days in a row, and that's a different city every day.
Yeah.
So you're sitting in an airport at 6 in the morning. Nobody wants to be at the airport at 6 o'clock in the morning. You're grumpy. Everybody's tired.
And people come by and they know you.
Yeah. Well,
Fucking with you.
But then when you have it written all over your body as
Yeah,
well, right? Like
drawing
me,
attention.
I've got my hat pulled down, my sunglasses on. I'm in a corner somewhere, just trying to be, I'm trying to blend in. But here, he's like a beacon of light that just says, "Yes, I'm the Warrior."
Yeah.
And I'll never forget this little kid coming up to him, and so he's like, "Mr. Warrior, can I have your autograph?" And he just goes completely and he was like, "Leave me the fuck alone." And I'm like, holy, this little kid's like, he's terrified, right? Then the mom comes and gets the kid and walks off. I go over and I'm like, "Jim," you can't do that. You can't, go fuck that little bastard, I'm like,
Even though I have my name written all over me.
you're a walking advertisement to say, "Come fuck with me."
Yeah.
Come mess with me. To his credit, no, he chilled out, later on. But I mean, he was a little high strung back then, and
That's what I heard nobody talk to him like.
Well, he didn't like anybody really.
They didn't like him.
Yeah, he
either.
liked Kerry. He liked Kerry Von Erich, and he liked me for whatever reason. I think because we made money together, but. It was he was always a really interesting dude, man. He was, and that's again back there that era, everybody was looking out for number one.
Yeah, you ever met Billy Graham?
I met Billy Graham once. Yeah, he was a little before my time, but
Yeah, I used to look at him.
yeah, he was another guy that was ahead of his time, man. He had
Badass.
he had the physique,
Body,
yeah,
blonde hair,
and more important than the body, man. He could cut that, man. He could talk right.
Yeah,
he
he
had
was
a
good
great
talker.
promo, and that's how you get
You
people
remember the
hooked.
Valiant brothers?
Jimmy, yeah,
And
Jimmy
Luscious
Valiant,
Johnny, Handsome
Luscious-
Jimmy, and Luscious Johnny. They're my team.
yeah, man, yeah.
Listen, I got them packed down. Look at me, baby, I'm beautiful. Listen, I'm Luscious Johnny, baby. Look at me, Handsome Jimmy, baby. Look at my hair, beautiful blonde hair, baby. And he's talking about, look at me, baby, I'm beautiful, baby. Look at me, baby. Look how beautiful I am, baby. Luscious Johnny, baby.
Yeah, those guys were good, man. Yeah, you can tell you're a fan, man. You're bringing back some names a lot of people don't even remember anymore. So yeah,
Mil Mascaris and all those guys.
Mil Mascaris as a kid was one of my favorites.
Oh, he
right?
used to fly in the air with the kicks and stuff. Superfly Snooker,
Yeah,
the Crusher, the Bruiser.
yeah.
Dusty Rhodes when he was a little younger, talking mad.
Oh my gosh, he was good, and he talked. He had a little slight lisp. So he was so good, man.
Listen, what was that wrestler name again? He's such a vain wrestler, and Muhammad Ali saw him, and that's why he started doing this. What's that guy name? Gorgeous George.
Gorgeous George, yeah.
Muhammad Ali saw him, and he emulated him. Look how beautiful I am. Am I beautiful? Isn't that true?
Yeah, Ali was a big wrestling fan too.
Big time.
Yeah.
Listen, the white people love wrestling, keeping it real, because it's a soap opera for men.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We get attached to those guys. We want to know more about them. We stay in touch with them. We get mad when they lose. We celebrate when they win. It become a connection.
For sure.
I saw Bruno Sammartino, nigga. I was almost crying. He defended the title. He beat everybody. Don Leo, Jonathan, the Wolfman, John Tolis didn't fight him. Peter Morales, man, he beat Moondog Maine. He beat them all.
Yeah.
He beat them all. Yeah, he beat them all. Till Billy Graham took his title. He had it for 12 years already.
Yeah. Bruno had a long run as champion. It's really unheard.
I saw all his defenses, man.
Yeah.
Stan the Man Stasiak, Killer Kowalski.
Yeah.
Remember all his defenses.
No, that's a real good point you bring up, Mike. 'Cause I remember even growing up, how invested I used to be and how upset I'd get.
Yeah, somebody lose.
When someone lose, me and my boys, we'd be like, no, there's no way.
Right?
There's no way. Rock's losing. There's no way. And I used to get so hot when he would lose.
Spiros Arion. He used to do the drop kick. The knee breaker. Boom, crash the guy's spine and his knees.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's it's funny because I think people use it, especially they used to use it as an escape, right?
Yes.
Because you had your whatever character was out there, you had somebody for. There was somebody for everyone, right?
For everyone.
And it was cool that people could lose themselves in their reality. It's amazing now. So now I'm going out and doing, my one-man show, which for my whole career I never talked about. I didn't talk like this, right? If it wasn't Undertaker related, you didn't hear anything from me. So now that I've retired, and so I'm going around doing this one-man show and talking about these kind of stories and everything. It's amazing. So I'll do a meet and greet.
They love Andre's story, though.
Oh yeah, they just. But they're again, they want to hear all that behind the scenes stuff. But it's amazing when I do my meet and greets, right? The amount of people that come up to me and say, if it hadn't been for you and Monday Night Raw, I don't think I would have made it.
I can see that too.
Yeah, I can see that.
And you're like, you kind of lose sometimes. You lose that sense of how much
who you are.
Yeah,
to you, you're nobody.
That's humility, though.
You're
That's
going
humility.
out. You're going out and you're doing. You're doing this thing you're passionate about and everything, but you have no idea sometimes how you affect other people and the responsibility that comes with that. I'm talking about this one girl. She stopped me. I think it was in Philadelphia, and she just she goes, yeah, I had my whole plan. I was going to do it. And it came down to it. And he says, the only reason I didn't follow through with my plan is because I wanted to see what you were going to do on Monday night on Raw. And then it became, I struggled all week to get to the next Monday night so I could see what you were going to do. And I'm sitting there like blown away and like, wow, that's crazy to have that people invest and has that kind of effect on them that.
Because people are looking for quote-unquote heroes. People look for that. When I was a young fighter, I used to go to the older fighter, kiss their hand. You need me to do anything for you. It's just we're born to worship. That's why most of us are so religious. That's what we're born to do.
Yeah, it's it's been great. I've had a great ride and a lot of fun, and I got to live my dreams. But it really things get put into perspective when you have these encounters and you meet people like that. It's like, wow, I didn't, I was just going out doing my thing, and
trust me,
you don't know that you have that kind of effect on people. It's really humbling, and it gives you a different perspective on your life and what you do.
It crushes your ego, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, I mean this is like,
I know.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But I need to get some. I need to get some pointers from you on that one-man show, though, brother.
Oh man, listen, my wife right there, wherever she's over there, she wrote it for me.
Did you really?
I watched this guy named Chaz Palminteri. I watched him do a one-man show, and I was just blown away. And I said, Kiki, I think I could do that. And then she started writing stuff, and then we went all over the world with it.
Yeah, so I obviously, I saw it, you did it on HBO, right?
Yes.
Was it HBO did the special, right? So you took it around.
All over the world.
Yeah. Did you like figure out like what worked and what didn't work?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff worked, but it was just when we first started, like 2.5 hours. We shut it all down to like what, 50 minutes.
Wow,
was
that's a lot
long.
of material to
So
get
we get
into.
stuck with those explosive stuff so people could stand on their feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we were just doing a roller coaster, we put you down, next time it goes, oh, there she comes down there crying.
Yeah.
And
No,
they're
it
laughing.
was. I mean, it was really good. Because I'm trying to get mine. I've done about 8 of my shows now, and I was like, well, it just dawned on me. Even before this came up, I was
Listen,
like,
the first time I did it, and I was saying, hey, I don't know who my father is. And I'm just trying to explain, hey, this is my life.
Right.
And they all started laughing, the whole place. And so I run back to my wife. I said, baby, what's going on? Why are they laughing? She said, just go out there, just keep on doing it. Because I wanted it to be gritty and tough and hard. Came out to be a comedy. It came out to be a comedy. I wanted to be like, oh, he had it hard. He was grinding in the streets, avoiding getting killed.
Yeah.
And they turned out to be a joke. Everybody's laughing. And I'm talking some hard stuff. I grew up alone without a family. Mother alcoholic, all that stuff. They just died. I don't know who my father is. And it was old after that. What kind of people are these? After the show, I'm like, what the fuck kind of
they were
people are these?
entertained,
They're
evidently. If they
entertained,
were, whatever it
They
took.
enjoy
Man.
people suffering. It's sick.
That's our society now,
That's
man.
our society.
So listen, check this out, brother. So I can't go to Australia because I'm a felon, right? They want the show over there, so they let me go over there. Right?
Funny how that works out,
Yeah,
right?
so they let me go over there. So I'm on stage. They call me out, and I can't do the show. You know why? And I say, hey guys, let me just chill out. Let me just explain. I'm on the mic. Nah, fuck that, because one day I started doing it, right? And I said something about my ex-wife, Rob, and they said, fuck that bitch, But no, listen. I don't know, there's a couple of thousands of people in there, right? The big stadium. And it's elevated
Stage.
stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the people are like 15 feet ahead, higher than I
Yeah.
am, right? Maybe more, but I'm doing this, I'm talking, and they won't let me talk. The next thing you know, you see this guy with these funky clothes. They're cool, right? He said, hey, Mike, how you like my clothes? He was like a native, he's from India. And he jumped on the thing that's probably up there. See what that silver thing is?
Yeah.
Right.
He said, how you like? And he jumped from there and tried to jump on the stage, right? And I'm looking at this guy, he jumped and he touched it, but he missed
Hey,
the stage 15, 20 feet.
oh,
And everybody ran. I'm laughing like a mother, but everybody's wondering, is he okay? They're worried about I said, I can't believe that. I said, I can't do this. I can't.
hope that gives you confidence.
Oh, that's good.
I can't go to Australia. They're going nuts.
Yeah.
New Zealand too. These people are crazy, man.
Yeah.
If they down with you, man, they gonna beat you. England too. They stay at your door all night. Stay at your hotel all night. Never go home.
I did a show in Cardiff in the UK.
Oh, Cardiff, isn't that crazy?
They're
But these
out of their
guys-
minds.
so These guys are middle class guys. They don't got too much
Oh.
money there, and these guys are slick as grease.
Man,
Slick as grease.
Yeah, shit, them English mother. You better watch them.
I was as entertained by them as I think they were by me. Every time
Hey,
that I
mate.
would say something, yeah, every time that I would say
That's
something
your
that they
good
liked,
bloke.
they would turn into a chant, right? So I'm telling a story, this particular story. This girl back in the day, like she was all in on my Creatures of the Night, and she comes up to me and she had tattooed on her left breast my face,
I can see that too.
right? And it was a large tattoo. Let's go that way. Anyway, so she shows it to me, and I'm telling this story, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, yeah, it's Taker's tattooed titty girl. So this whole auditorium starts chanting that back at me, and I couldn't help but laugh. Like I made me forget everything that I was going to say, because they were everything that they felt like was entertaining or amusing. They just chanted it right back to me. I mean, that show went way off the rails, and it was one of the best shows that we've done. But man, alive!
You ever get nervous? Too many people?
No, it's different because I'm given a different side of what I did for 30 years. Like, I was in Texas Stadium, over 100,000 people there. I don't bat an eye because I I was being The Undertaker, right? Now, Mark Calaway, if I had to give a speech in front of what we got here, like 10 people, you know, I'd be nervous having to be myself. So I've had to learn how to do that.
Like when I'm on stage too, I never think of myself as being. I'm an
Yeah,
actor playing
that's so
Mike
real.
Tyson. Because if I really, I come out as Mike Tyson, I might start crying, get emotional about the thing. That's why I always I'm always somebody just portraying Mike Tyson.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like I had just a huge fear of being myself in front of people. Like early on, I had people offer me all these speaking engagements, and I was like, that's really good money, but no, I don't, I don't think so.
Listen, you have to understand. This is what they told me. It comes with the job.
Yeah,
Talking to people, loving people comes with the job.
yeah,
Once I got that correct, I said, well, I understand now. It comes with the job.
yeah.
They made you who you were.
Yeah, it's gotten easier. I mean, it's gotten easier being me, but it's just like it goes against everything that I did for all those years.
For sure.
I protected everything,
Yeah.
and then now everything's out there. So it's just like, I'm getting, I'm starting to get much more comfortable with it. But
Hey, it's not normal. It's hard to be. It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
not, even though it's just not normal. You can't become you. You get angry. They don't know if your mother just died. They don't know if you lost somebody. They don't know if you went bankrupt. Give me a picture.
Yep, they don't
You
care.
never consider your humanity.
Mm.
How you feeling today?
Yeah.
And you only got to be off once, and then you're a jerk, right?
Yeah.
Dick.
Right? You don't, no one knows what's
You
going
can even
on.
go like Scooby right now. When my mother died, I just can't do it. He was an asshole. He could have just signed it and went on and thought about his mother. They don't give a
Hell,
fuck.
I've had people ask me for autographs at funerals.
That's crazy.
Like, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
but people don't get. They have no chill. They have no chill. Yeah, it's facts. People don't have no
I
chill.
was in a funeral, somebody on my wife's side of the family, and the pastor is like giving this eulogy, and during the course of now I'm sitting in this big church. It's got to be 150 people in there, and he uses me as a as a kind of a joke, and I'm like, I'm looking at my wife, and I'm like, tell me he didn't just say that, right? And I'm just like, I'm trying to, and I'm sitting in this pew, and I just want to start sinking down, like,
Yeah.
because I know everybody's looking at me, I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me! Why would you do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think my wife ended up chewing him out over that, but I was just like, man,
Yeah.
but
But aren't you like Andre in some perspective when people see it? Fuck.
oh yeah,
You're
people,
walking there
yeah.
or something.
Yeah, even if you weren't a fan of wrestling, you knew who Andre was. I mean, Andre was bigger than the business. He was just,
Oh, he was.
he was such a spectacle, and it was really rough. I mean, it's hard, man, for him to
Hotel beds and that bed.
everything, traveling, and just it was. People don't think of that aspect of it. They just think of what they see on TV. They don't have any clue how difficult it was for him to get from point A to point B, and everything that went with that. So
Have you ever had a comfortable situation? Everything was copacetic, high enough, big enough. Has that ever happened?
me. For Andre, I don't. Yeah, I'm sure somewhere he's. I mean, Andre.
Probably in France. where
Yeah,
you-
yeah. He was treated like a king in France, but yeah, just
I used to remember Edwin Carpentier too. He discovered Andre
yep,
when I was young. He was great.
yeah. I learned a lot from Andre, good and bad. But yeah, he was a good man, really good man. So
when was the first time you guys met?
Andre or me and Mike?
You and Mike. You and Mike.
I'm in WWE.
Yeah,
Right?
it was. I think it was in Fresno.
I was on the show for a while.
Yeah, when you were going to referee
Stone
Stone Cold
and Michael.
Yeah, Michael's man. I think we met in Fresno.
Okay.
That was probably
Michael's
90.
a badass too.
Sean. Oh
Michaels,
man, he could go.
badass. He's underrated.
Oh man, he's.
In wrestling, he's underrated.
I tell people he's probably one of the people that I've worked with. My favorite people to be in the ring
Yeah,
with.
he's badass. His back is already fucked up, broke all his. He gets on top of the roof and he just flies. He's not funny. You tell him, right?
Yeah, no,
It's not
he was ahead
normal.
of his time.
Not
and
normal.
He was.
Not normal.
he could take a broomstick and have a good match with it. I mean, that's how talented he was. He was, even guys like Flair, and you spend a lot of time with Flair now.
Yeah.
Even Flair will just tell you, like in ring, he was magic. We had a match at WrestleMania 25 in Houston at I think it was Reliant Stadium, whatever it was, wherever the Texans play. And man, that's the closest thing to perfect that I'd ever experienced.
I'm telling this guy, though, underrated. This guy has, he needs surgery and he's flying through the air.
Yeah, that's
he
crazy.
needs surgery. He needs surgery. This
Back
guy,
surgery.
he needs surgery and he's doing this
That's
shit.
crazy.
How much pain he had to take. That's why I rated him as the best, because he did under that much pain. He wasn't shot up or nothing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think that's probably one of the things that as a wrestler, everybody, that isn't a fan of wrestling. I think for people who are fans of wrestling, they don't give a shit what it is, right? Whether scripted, whatever you want to call it. Well, I think it's one of the reasons why we kind of take exception when people say, "Oh, that's fake," or that that pisses me off. I don't. It's not fake. It's a different genre of entertainment, and it's like you said, it's sports opera for men, but you
need athleticism.
You have to have an
You gotta be athletic. You gotta be very
amount of athleticism.
Most of the guys I know that did this back in the time, they always pinky broken every night.
Yeah, I mean, you look at my
John
hands.
Stud was all.
Oh,
my
yeah, my
fingers
hands.
are broke.
You got football
Yeah.
player hands.
Yeah,
Yeah, my type of hands.
They get stepped on and things like that. But my point to that is like the amount. Back in the day, if you didn't work, you didn't get paid, right? So guys would go to the ring, needing surgery or being injured, and just go out and do it.
Lay it online.
Because what happens is back then, say you're booked in the Garden, right? You're supposed to be in the main event on the Garden, and you don't show up. It's not going to affect that crowd because everybody's bought their ticket. But the next time, they're going to think before they go and buy their tickets, like, oh well, the last time he didn't show up. Do we want to risk this and not be able to see that? So guys would end up working, and I think my point to all of it is guys don't get enough credit for how tough, not tough in the sense whether they're a good fighter or but the amount of pain that guys in this industry take and perform at a high level is really off the charts. And
can't be like nobody like Shawn Michaels, that guy.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't go. I mean, it's just not natural.
He didn't have surgery. He needed surgery. That's why I can't. He didn't have it. He wouldn't have surgery. Now he's flying through air. Stone Cold throwing him out the ring, and man, I just, what a person.
Yeah, the wrestlers back in that day, they were a different breed, man. It really, and I'm not taking away from anything of these guys today either, but it's just back then, we didn't have doctors really with us, right? Now we have doctors and trainers, and I mean, everything's.
Really now wrestling became, boom, big show now. You know what I mean? It's just a big show. It's good. It has more fans now than it ever did.
Yeah.
It's just, it's entertainment.
Yeah.
See, boxing is not entertainment unless you have a fight that's entertaining. But like, after that one fight is over and it's intermission, nothing's happening. People talking to each other. UFC, when they have an intermission, it's a party.
Yeah.
Some people just go for the party, talk, do business. But that's why UFC is more advanced than boxing. Boxers get paid more money, but the entity of the UFC, billions.
Yeah, a lot of entertainment value there. And I think guys like Ali realize that, right? I mean,
if you don't got a gimmick, you have to have a gimmick. I mean, tough street, Tyson, custom auto trained. It's all a gimmick. It's real, but it's a gimmick. You don't got the only guys that got all the money is guys with a gimmick. Look at Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
He has a gimmick. He's crazy. He's bold. A gimmick. Real life, he's a beautiful guy.
Yeah.
But you have to have a gimmick.
That's what sells tickets, puts asses in seats.
That's what because you put them butts in the seats.
Yep. And that's what we do. That's that's where we're all. I think we're all kind of linked. We're linked together in that aspect, right?
Yeah.
But you got to have, that's a great assessment right there. You got to have a gimmick.
Oh, listen, I became a fan from wrestling. I learned gimmick from wrestling. That's why I be up there talking. Sometimes get off from wrestling.
Yeah, you were the scariest though when you didn't say.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna say
Yeah,
that.
Mike, I don't know. I don't think it was a gimmick. I think you were just a badass. Seriously,
listen. Man, please. I watched the wrestler Don Leo Jonathan. What was that other guy? This guy was so big and beautiful. Bruno beat him though. Man, I forgot these guys. When this guy.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm gonna go back. Like you standing there getting the referee's final instructions, not just like, oh man, this dude's dead. Yeah.
Never breaking eye contact.
Yeah,
just looking at
You evolved the character later on when you started talking shit and going
Yeah,
up.
but gotta be like, you have to talk shit. If you don't talk shit, you're nobody.
I don't know, man.
Even Brady talks shit, when he's out there. Come on!
Yeah. It was, yeah.
So I'm curious, what do I have to do in order to be a special guest on Raw?
Listen,
Or WWE? I just want to smash a chair on someone's back. Super Bowl chair, smash those like,
listen. You're going to be so mad when it's over. Because it's so much fun, man.
I bet it. I know it is.
You'll
I
be
know
so
it
mad
is.
when
How was your experience, Mike? How was it?
I was a kid. I was reliving my childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm going to the Hall of Fame with my heroes.
Yeah, the heroes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a trip.
Yeah, that's cool.
But what I gotta do, Undertaker? What I gotta do?
Look right there, man, my man.
Look at that. Who's that young kid there?
Look at Vince. I know he's like, I grew up with this guy, Vince. You know what I mean? Watching him.
Vince and his dad, I bet. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. Yeah. I told him he was in the same hotel with me. The hell, this nigga big and strong. He may not look at him. You see him in person, big and strong.
Yeah, he's pretty thick.
Yeah. He's an ex-football player. Correct?
Yeah, he played at
Tell me
North
about
Texas.
Brock Lesnar.
There's another dude's freaky athlete, man.
Dude.
Don't give two shits either. Brock is not a people person whatsoever.
I used to worry about him because I love this and I just don't want nobody to shoot his ass. Listen, he got to be careful. He be f***ing people and shit. He kicked some guy's ass in the airplane.
Oh, dude, yeah. No, I was on that flight.
Listen, right? They talk about me in the airplane. He took him in the bathroom.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah, Brock's not a people person.
Yeah.
He's Brock's is one of those rare, once in a lifetime kind of athletes. Big old country boy.
You know why?
What were you thinking there, Mike?
Oh, what? Right there?
Yeah.
I'm going by the script.
So you're right, don't fuck up the script.
Yeah.
Don't fuck it up.
I'm so happy. You can't believe how happy I am right there. Listen, I just got suspended for biting somebody's ear and stuff. And listen, I made so much, they gave me so much money. I was in debt too. I got a couple of $1 million. I was so proud. Vince became my main man. Nobody better ever talk about Vince.
But yeah, so what do I gotta do, man? How do I train? How long is the training regimen?
Let's milk that football.
You know,
let's get everything we can get out of that first.
You know Tony Khan and those guys? Mm-hmm. Yeah, these guys wouldn't put me on the show and stuff before. But I don't care if they got more money. If Vince put me on the show, I'd rather go there even though they pay more money.
No, I don't blame you there. It's going to get much more play. WWE's going to do it right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They had got a couple of $1 billion, didn't they?
Yeah. The company just had a huge valuation.
Ooh, I love this guy.
That's what you're thinking, right? It's like everybody's thinking, oh, like he's going to hit Austin.
Yeah.
Mike's just having fun, right?
Yeah. I love this guy.
This is the best time in our industry right here. This is like everything's sold out. Mm-hmm. Business is just off the charts. Mm-hmm. And then getting a crossover like this with Mike was really huge.
Yeah.
I needed them so bad then too. Oh, bankrupt.
It all worked out perfectly.
Yes,
it really did for both sides.
We broke all the records too.
Yeah.
We beat those other guys. Who was it? Hulk Hogan and them, when they had the
for WCW.
Yeah, the other guy, Razor Ramon and those guys. Mm-hmm. We kicked their ass.
Yeah, things really started taking off, after this.
Awesome, man.
This is beautiful. This is so beautiful. I call home and say, you saw me, right? You saw me in the wrestling?
So I think like the first couple things you need is just come to the events, get seen on camera.
Yeah.
Just get seen on camera,
Yeah.
and then once football's over with, then you can, you work your way in there pretty easily.
Listen,
They would
man,
love to have
I
you
just want
on
to be a
there.
special guest. That's it. Special guest.
Now you want
That's
a
it.
name, right?
Huh?
You want a name, it wouldn't be a character.
Yeah,
right?
I want to be like
I
a
wish I
hype
could have
man
a
for
match,
someone,
too.
and then jump in the ring, just break a chair on someone's back. Just one day. Just one.
Just one, right?
Just one. That's
Well,
it.
you gotta
I'll
be-
living my childhood dream, you know?
But you got to be willing to not only
Get
give
hit.
but receive. That's
listen, man. I hit
No,
grown
listen,
men for a living. I can
listen,
do that.
time. Put Mike Tyson wrestling match in there. I wrestled some people. I was in
Yes,
a match.
WrestleMania
You know that,
is
right?
so far.
You were the
I was in look Mike Tyson in a wrestling match. Please.
WWE.
Yes. On this wrestling. Who am I wrestling? You see me in there?
Shawn Michaels?
No,
Is that
who am I wrestling? No, go down. That's me right there. That's me right there, right?
This one? Baddest man on the planet?
Yeah, who's that? Let's check. That's WWE though, right? No, that's that other stuff. I don't want that one. I want Mike Tyson wrestling in the ring.
Raw. One of
Look, see who was in there. That me.
Oh,
yeah.
that was DX when you
DX.
showed up with those guys.
But I was wrestling. I was in there. I gave him a hit. I was doing all that shit. No, I
replay? Bang! Ooh!
put Mike Tyson in a tag team match. I was on there wrestling, gave him the hits. and everything. I think I pinned somebody. No, that's not it. Who did I find? Oh man.
What was your favorite match that you've done?
I've had several. For just a pure wrestling straight match was Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 25. Then you got Hell in a Cell with Mick Foley, where I threw him
Oh,
off.
listen, Nick, God, damn, let's talk about him. Can we talk about Nick Foley?
Tough man.
This guy probably broke every bone in his body doing this.
Yeah, you just say you threw him off. You threw him off.
I threw him off the top of the cell.
He did his own
Can you put
stuff.
that up? Can you put that up when he dropped when he threw when he
man.
threw him off when Undertaker threw
We
him
should do a
off the top of the cell?
compilation of Nick Foley.
All the crazy stuff that he did. Go Hell in a Cell 98, I think. Is that right, Greg? I think so, yeah. 98? Well, just Mick Foley and Hell in a Cell, Undertaker, Hell in a Cell. Yeah, that's it right there. Just kind of speed it up a little bit.
How long's the recovery process after doing a match?
I tell you what, after
Yeah,
this,
go town next day.
the next day.
Next day?
Next day.
Oh man.
So you got to straighten like ice tub.
Oh, this ain't right, man. This ain't right.
This was in the A&E biography, right?
This will be in the rivals.
Oh yeah, the
Biography.
rivals. This was Mick was one of my biggest rivals in the '90s. Man,
Look,
you're about to see what I do to him. Is
You're not gonna believe this.
listen,
You gotta be afraid of this guy. You can't hurt this guy.
Got the chair.
Who's that, Razor? Are you?
that's me. Yeah. Look at that. We're walking on that mesh and it's breaking.
Yeah.
Y'all guys are totally out of your mind. It's not worth the money. Y'all guys can kill yourself at any moment.
No safety.
No safety at all. Nothing.
No net.
Freestyling.
Nope. Look at our feet. Like,
Oh, when that happened, what were you thinking? Like, oh,
I was like, holy.
yeah. But the show goes on.
But I couldn't say. I couldn't. You'll see why in just a second. But I couldn't say a whole lot because.
Oh, no, don't let him do that to you, man.
No, I'm not. Don't worry.
I knew it. Don't let him do that.
All right, here we
I'll
go.
kick that
Hang on. Here we go.
This is not right.
Get out of here.
This is not right. This is not right, man. This is just not right. This ain't right, man. I know I'm a fan, but this ain't right. And in a minute, he's getting ready to pop back up like Michael Myers. He's gonna pop back up like Michael.
Well, you scoot up. Yeah, you got to. Yeah,
Yeah, he might be
Look.
dead. Oh my
That ain't right,
gosh.
man. That's bullshit. You gonna get up and watch.
Oh
But
my
this one,
gosh.
as bad as that one was, look at that young man. Holy hell.
Look at the hair.
But
the hair.
the one that happens here in about another 5 minutes
Mm-hmm.
is just he almost didn't get up from. That one was bad, but the next one is really bad.
And what does he say? I'm gonna take this jump. I'm gonna take this leap.
Yeah, like, how do you guys
Kill him.
practice that? Like,
He don't.
Just like,
He had never been up there on top of that cell.
Why does he do it like this?
So his mentality on this thing was, so I'd had the first Hell in a Cell match with Shawn Michaels, and it was good. It was violent, and it was everything that the Hell in a Cell match was supposed to be. And then this would have been the second one, and Mick was afraid that we wouldn't be able to deliver as good a match as the first one. So he had it in his head that he wanted to give them, if he said we can almost smoke and mirror people into thinking that they've seen something really, incredible. And that's what he decided we needed to do.
so when you threw him off, like, do you tell? Like, are y'all talking? Like, do you tell him? Like, you tell him like, I'm throwing your ass off. He was like, all right, I'm ready.
you ready?
Yeah, it was like, yeah, good luck, bro.
like in that moment, like, there's no thinking because you're just going, right?
Yeah,
You're just going.
I tell people that. I tell people this. This
Did he
is.
tell you throw me over?
Don't
Did he
be.
tell
I
you?
knew I was throwing him over. When I got over to the edge, I was like, I hope he hits that table because that concrete's going to be a.
Whoa.
And
Oh man.
Oh, the concrete. I forgot all about that.
yeah, yeah, that's crazy, man.
What did you think when you threw this? Was dead?
When I seen him move, I was like, okay, all right, he's in good shape. In just a second, like a little bit, like 5 minutes later in this match, we get back up on this. After I throw him down, he climbs back up. We continue fighting, and
Over here.
yeah,
He's climbing back up.
Just
That's after
yeah,
throwing
he's
him
already.
off?
Yeah, I've already thrown him off once,
That's amazing.
and he climbs back up.
I know he's broken. He needs to go to the hospital, right?
No, he's about to.
He broke his back.
He's about to really need the hospital here, and just
He needs them now. What do you mean he's gonna really need them? He can't need them not any more than he needs them now. You cut his head off. It's the same right now.
so.
Look at this guy, man.
This is nuts.
That's why he got so much respect.
Oh man.
Oh, we're in slow motion. I was like, damn, I'm slow.
No,
I
you're in
didn't
slow
realize
motion.
we were in slow motion there.
Gotta capture the moment. Big moment.
Yeah, you need to see this though in actual speed.
You're piecing his ass
Watch
up.
this. This is
Oh
nasty.
no, not Stone dude.
Oh.
Now he's out.
Oh yeah, he's dead.
He's out right now. I'm looking down, and honestly, in my eyes, I'm looking down at a dead guy.
Why would he?
That
do
wasn't supposed to happen.
The first one wasn't supposed to happen.
That one, 2 more inches of rotation, he doesn't get up.
What was the injury?
So I think he separated his shoulder. He got concussed, broke his hip. I guess this is just our morbid sense of humor. So we continue. He gets up from this. Again, he gets up. And we start fighting again. And I'm so distracted. This is kind of gross. Like he's got something in his nostril. And I'm looking at him and I'm punching him. I'm thinking like, dude, Mick's got a big booger in his nose, right? Come to find out it wasn't a booger. It was his incisor. When he hit, his tooth went through his lip and lodged in his nose.
Oh.
It's crazy. You got to go back and when you have more time and look at this. There's a point where he's sitting there and he's bleeding and he's all beat up and he sticks his tongue through the hole in his lip. And he goes and anyway, yeah, at this point, this is Terry Funk.
That's tooth. That's a tooth right there.
Yeah, you can see the tooth hanging out of his nose.
Hanging out of his nose.
Right there. That's his tooth. And that's him sticking his tongue through his lip. So that was the best part of his night, actually, was the table. That one was really nasty.
Oh, some
Of course,
warriors.
I showed him all kind of compassion and mercy. But no, he's just incredible.
He's still
man.
living, huh?
Yeah, he's doing well. Just a sweetheart of a guy, really. But man, he took a beating that night.
Wow. So what is it like working on your A&E biography?
It was fun,
Mm-hmm.
and it was kind of hard again for me because, like I said, I'd lived my character for so long.
For sure.
To kind of pull that curtain back and let people really understand that I'm a normal guy and I'm not I don't dig graves all the time, all that. So it was kind of tough, but it was cool. And then obviously just listening to my peers and the people that I've worked with and their feelings. It's kind of cool to hear all of that and kind of let you know that through my course of my career, I did some things right.
Hell yeah.
And
My God, yeah.
I think my mom stole the show on my A&E deal. My mom's 90 and she talks mad shit, right?
Yeah.
Like I'd call her, even when I was still wrestling all the time, like I had to call her. Like after I had a pay-per-view match or something, I had to call her, let her know I was okay, right?
Yeah.
And man, she would let me have it. She'd be on Vince all the time. Does he see the way he walks? Does he? I mean, does he do that on purpose? I'm like, Mom, and then and Triple H, why's he got to have that damn hammer all the time? I'm like, Mom, it's just part of the deal. She goes, well, I know, but nobody likes that. Nobody likes a cheater. So she would just lay into everybody.
How many brothers or sisters?
I had 4 brothers. Yeah, I was the youngest. They all kicked the shit out of me growing up.
That's what they do.
And you have 5 kids, right?
That's what they do.
You have 5?
I do.
You
Yeah.
have 5 kids?
Yeah, and yeah, my brothers. I think they kind of set the tone for where I was going in life.
Yeah.
Yeah, as the runt, man. I was bigger than everybody, but yeah, they were all quite a bit older and
What was your mother and father like?
salt of the earth people, man. My dad, middle class, worked his butt off. He worked for the Houston Post. He worked in the press rooms. Kind of coordinated how the paper came out on the printers, and then during the day,
somebody.
and then during the day,
Please.
he did extra jobs for he was a master plumber and did all he was just he was a grinder.
Yeah.
And
With your kids, them growing up, how was it that their dad? Obviously, they look at you as dad, right?
Right.
But probably growing up, they had to have kids coming up and like, oh my God, your dad's the Undertaker. Like, how is that?
yeah, they get that. They get it at school.
Yeah.
We just kind of try to downplay it as much as possible.
Yeah.
My in-laws are pretty funny. They kind of try and take the people will get real excited out in public.
Yeah.
Like I can't hear they're like, is that the Undertaker? Is that the guy?
Yeah.
My father-in-law is awesome. He goes, yeah, he's really overrated. So, everybody they all keep me humble and grounded.
Yeah.
I wrestled. I don't know, a couple of years before I retired, I ended up wrestling Cena. My daughter at the time loved Cena.
Yeah.
Like all the kids love Cena, right? So he's we go and have this match at WrestleMania. I end up beating Cena. And I look over at my daughter and I'm ready, I'm gonna give her the, that's your boy kind of deal.
Yeah.
And I see her and she's on the rail and she's got one thumb up and one thumb down. And I'm like, I can't really go right then, so I got to wait for him to come back, backstage. And I'm like, Kaya, what was with the thumb up and the thumb? And she goes, well, Dad, I'm really happy that you won, but I can't believe that you beat Cena. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I'm your dad. I got to beat everybody. But she was, yeah. So this is no lie, and this is kind of a testament to the person that Cena is. Cena actually had to go and console my daughter. She's like, well, he was telling her, he's like, I talked a lot of smack about your dad, and I kind of deserved it. Yeah. So he had to make things right with my daughter.
Good sport.
Yeah, he's like, I kind of talked a lot of crap about your dad, so it was. And she was like,
I just saw on a commercial before I came here.
Oh, did you?
He has a commercial. You see the commercial he has on?
He's new. I had
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he looks good too.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He's a really good dude.
He was one of my favorites too growing up. Yeah. Yeah, man.
He does good in movies too.
Yeah, he does. He acts. Yeah.
Yeah, he's smart, right? He don't care what kind of role, whether it's action or comedy, he does it all, man. I think that's kind of cool that he just wherever he just adapts and sees the big picture of it all. So it's good to see guys like him and Rock and Batista and those guys be able to cross over and do other things because
sure.
I don't think
Rock, he's Black Adam.
Adam,
it's crazy,
made a ton of money. Yeah, Rock. I mean, he's just been. You knew that with Rock, even back in the day when he was just wrestling. You knew that one day he was going to be.
Listen, I remember when I was younger. I remember his father was a tag team champion.
Mm-hmm. Tony Atlas and Rocky Johnson. Yeah.
Did they beat the Valiant Brothers? Who did they beat?
Not
the Valiant. Who did they?
They beat it. I mean, they pretty much beat everybody. They were a pretty hot tag team. Yeah.
I remember Tony Gurria and Dean Ho.
Tony Gurria. Yeah, you got all those good old timer names.
And what was Arnold
Arnold Skolin.
Yeah,
Arnold Skolin.
That was the manager. He wrestled too, though. I saw him in wrestling outfit in an old magazine.
Yeah, when I came to WWE, well, it was WWF at the time. Yeah, he was one of our road agents. Like he handled the live events, and for years there, because of my character, I mean, I would get flowers sent to me, black roses, and all this stuff, and Arnold would be in the dressing room playing cards, right? And I'd bring these flowers, and I said, "Hey, Arnie, here's some flowers," and he would take them home and give them to his wife. The flowers somebody sent me, he'd take the card out, and then he'd take them home to his wife and give his flowers to his wife. It was pretty cool. Or he saw him first. He'd come in. Hey kid, there's some flowers in the production office. What are you gonna do with those? I'm like, they're yours, Arnie. He's like, that's your heart. He always had that stogie in his mouth. But
I remember Bruno Sammartino was gonna fight John the Maniac Tollers, but it never happened. They pulled out.
Oh, yeah.
I was a fan of Tollers, too.
Tollers was a good heel.
He had a brother named Chris, too. I didn't
know that. I didn't know,
Chris and John.
Yeah, John was a good heel. He was a good bad guy.
Yeah, good bad guy.
And I've been trying to think. I'm trying to think of your character, man.
Oh, no. Oh,
you got it? You got
Take him to
Character?
African.
Character? I don't know.
Shaka Zulu.
Yeah. Oh, no. You talk about guys I liked growing up?
Well, no, I'm thinking about
Tom,
now you got me thinking. Like you want to at some point you may want to cross over. You want to do something. Now I got to start thinking creatively.
I was you would be the smiling killer.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Babyface assassin.
Babyface assassin. Yeah. definitely.
You gotta have a gimmick, man.
Gotta have a gimmick. Gotta have something. For sure.
Remember the pimp guy? That one guy was the pimp.
Which Godfather?
Yeah, Godfather.
Oh man, that's one of my best friends.
Yeah, he's from Vegas.
Yeah, we've been friends for.
I think he worked in a strip club or something.
He used to.
Yeah, he used to be in the strip club all the time. That's what I saw.
We've been friends for 30 plus years, man. We met. This is a good story. We met in the ring in Tennessee. This is 1988, I think. And I was in Texas. I just finished up in the Texas territory. We used to work in territories that, we didn't have the big mass, production like WWE or WCW. We had little territories that we all went to. And so I just finished up in Texas, and I go back to Tennessee. And so I drove, and I got there just in time to get dressed and then go to the ring. So I go to the ring, and who's there waiting on me? Is the Godfather. His name at the time was the Soul Taker. Now he's 6'5" and 330.
Yeah.
Black guy, all tatted up.
Yeah.
And I'm looking, right? And we hadn't had a chance to talk. We ain't met. we're in the ring, and I'm looking at him, and he's looking at me, and I'm thinking, oh boy, here we go.
Yeah.
And he's thinking the same thing, like, oh man, here's another big white boy. I'm gonna have to,
Yeah.
And so we're kind of sizing each other up, and not even, And little did I know, that was just like his third match.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was his third match, and man, so we lock up, and I'm like, oh, this dude's strong, and he ends up taking me and shooting me across from one corner to the next, and I hit so hard, like the top rope snaps off.
It's a big mother.
Right, so I'm thinking, hold, and here he comes, like he's coming back to get me and throw me back to the other side, right? And like I'm trying to put on the brakes, like, whoa, big fella, whoa, 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 and he's just hammering me, man, wham, wham, wham. I'm like, holy crap! Hey, throw me out of the ring.
Yeah.
So he throws me out of the ring, right? I'm just trying to get my bearings back because he's laying into my ass, and I'm like, holy crap, what am I going to do with this guy? So I'm out on the ring, and I'm walking around, and I walk around one ring post, and I see it. There's a chair, and I grab this chair, and I'm like, well, this is either going to make us or break us right here.
Yeah.
And he comes walking around the turnbuckle, man, and I just swung that chair as hard as I could, and I knocked the shit out of him, right? And he's looking up, he's like kind of looking at me, and I'm like, bro, I said, we can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way.
Yeah.
I said, I would much rather do this the easy way. And he goes, me too.
Especially after you got hit with that chair.
Yeah, right. And from that point forward, we've been the best of friends, and man, we've been through so much together. He just had his hip replaced, and he's got to get his knees done. But yeah, he's a really good dude.
Remember the guy Slick? That guy
Oh yeah, Slick. Yeah, yep, Slick. He was kind of the first of that character, and then the Godfather came out, and he upgraded the whole thing.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, so it was so much fun. But yeah, he's still in Vegas. Godfather is, but man alive, the trouble we got into.
Holy shit! Anybody get arrested?
Fortunately, not. We got away before we ever got arrested, but there's probably a couple of chances we should have been arrested, but we got
What was the wildest wrestler you knew?
Man, there's a long list of those guys. Road Warrior Hawk was up there.
Oh, two big guys, right?
Yeah.
Hawk and what's the other guy?
Animal. Yeah. They've both passed since, but Hawk he didn't get, Hawk had some demons, and sweetheart of a guy, but just didn't give a shit, Dan Spivey, I don't know if you remember Dan Spivey. He was another guy, man. He was just Dan was a bad dude, man. He used to, big white guy, 6'9", used to run on Del Mabry in Tampa.
Run what?
Yeah. Prostitutes.
Really?
Yeah. They called him Big Dollar Dan, the left-hand man. Ain't nobody in Tampa messed with Danny, man.
That's nasty work.
No, hey, let me tell you something.
Man.
So you know who the Road Warriors are, right?
Yeah.
All right. You know what they look, big, jacked up dude. Yeah, with the face paint. So me and Danny, I was his partner, and we wrestled. We were wrestling the Road Warriors, and we'd been wrestling in several, and they've been beating us, and we're trying to build up for this pay-per-view. This is when we were in WCW. We're trying to build up to this pay-per-view, and I'm green. I'm a kid in the business. I don't say nothing. I just kind of do whatever Danny says. I go and I do. So we get to the dressing room. It was in Corpus Christi, Texas, and he goes, tonight. He goes, just follow me. Follow my lead. Watch my back. I'm like, okay, what's up? He goes, don't worry about it. Just follow my lead. Watch my back. We're gonna get some heat with the Road Warriors tonight. I'm like, okay. I got nothing. I don't have any idea what he's talking about. Anyway, we have this match. I don't know, with DQ or something like that. And Danny gets a chair, and he starts beating these two dudes like they owed him money. And I am just like, oh man, we're about to fight the Road Warriors. We're about to fight them in the dressing room for real, right? And I'm like, oh man, here we go. And so he beats the crap out of both of them. They leave them both laying in the ring, and we go back to the dressing room. It's an old kind of civic auditorium kind of deal. I had to walk upstairs, and we're sitting down. And I'm looking at Danny. Danny's just as calm as he could be. He's getting undressed, And I'm sitting there. I'm like, oh, man, we're about to fight. Right? Danny looks down. He's like, Mark. He says, will you get dressed, man? We got to drive. We had to drive to Houston from Corpus Christi. And I'm like, no. I said, I'm not gonna get caught, in my underwear, naked, having to fight the Road Warriors. I'm gonna be dressed and ready to go.
Yeah.
He goes, what are you talking about? He goes, like, ain't nobody gonna fight anybody. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah, you keep telling yourself that, Danny. I said, I'm not going to get caught, kind of in between here. So he's like, man, ain't nothing going to happen, right? And now I can hear them. They're coming up the stairs. And I'm like, oh, boy, here we go. So I'm kind of positioning. I'm sitting on this bench, and I'm kind of getting myself, like, so I can spring, right? So I can, like, I'm going to get off before one of them gets to me. So I'm standing there, right? And these guys come up around the corner, and I'm looking at them. And they just completely walk past me and go right to Danny. And oh, Danny, that was awesome, man. Thank you for, thank you for that. That was great what you did, right? And I'm just sitting here like,
yeah, that's crazy.
what the hell's going on here, right? And then they kind of walk past me again, like, hey, kid, good job, kid. And I'm like, what the hell did I just miss? And then I look back down at Danny, right? And Danny just kind of gives me this little shy, it gives me the wink, right? Then somebody comes up to me and kind of gives me the background on Danny, right? Danny, you'll appreciate this. Danny beat the living shit out of Adrian Adonis.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of the ring. Danny had come up the first time to WWF, and Adrian Adonis was messing with him. Danny knocked him out. Wham, right in the ring. Boom, out. And then they woke him up. And then he tried to fight him again in the dressing room, knocked him out again. Danny was a bad man. He was a bad man.
What happened to him?
He still lives in Tampa.
Good.
Yeah, but he was one of those guys, like, business would get rough he'd just go home and, like, screw it, man, I'm done. And then he'd just wait. But yeah, he was a Big Dollar Dan, the left-hand man.
Big Dollar Dan.
Yeah, he was a good dude, man.
Pimpin' Dan.
The things you learn, man. There's some characters come out of this business.
We come bearing gifts, though, Undertaker.
Oh, some good gifts.
Oh, we got gifts?
Great gifts, yes.
I don't know
And they will kill you.
They will kill me? Oh, that's good.
They won't kill you, but they'll make you stronger.
Oh, I'm sure.
Big time. Hotboxin.
Oh, brother. Okay. Yeah. Right on, man.
You can get this stuff at hotboxin.store.
Check it out.
How's Brutus Beefcake? He's still around?
Yeah, he's still around. I hadn't seen him in years, but he's still, him and Hogan are buddies.
Yeah. Hogan look out for him, right?
I think so. Yeah. But I hadn't
Until
seen
you put me over, I'm gonna put the suplex plan. You hear me, brother?
That kind of seemed to have a little bit of Macho Man in that, too.
Oh, yeah, that was
a little bit of Macho Man.
I love Randy Savage.
Yeah, he's another one, man.
Hey, brother.
He's one of the most imitated guys ever was Randy.
Hey, brother. And Elizabeth.
Oh, yeah, Elizabeth.
Who's the finest woman wrestler you think?
My wife.
She wrestled?
Yeah.
Where at?
She wrestled for WWE.
Really? What's her name?
Michelle McCool.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What about
See how I did that?
Yeah, I like it. That's our man right
Oh,
there.
on television, you got so
Smooth
many.
as silk, baby.
There was zero hesitation in
Zero
that answer.
hesitation.
Whoa.
And all the
You
facts.
didn't do this.
No.
No thinking, nothing.
First, second, and third are all
Yes,
my
sir.
wife.
I'm learning things. Listen, the whole world is looking at you, right? What do you want them to know?
What I want them to know, man, I just want them to know how thankful that I am for all my fans for all these years that stayed with The Undertaker. And I hope that you guys continue continue the journey with me as I do this one-man show. You think you know some things about The Undertaker. There's going to be a lot of things that people find out that they're going to be shocked, and the things that were going on behind the scenes that, they're not going to believe they're hearing what they're hearing. And I think, come out if you get a chance to go. It's called the One Dead Man Show. We're going to be in Montreal coming up in March 24th, my birthday. I'm going to be in Vegas.
Pisces?
No, Aries.
Aries.
I'm March 21st, so I'm Aries.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do a show on my birthday in Vegas, and then we head to LA for WrestleMania.
SoFi, baby.
SoFi. I mean, it's gonna be
They want to
nuts.
know how they can get in touch with you.
How to get in touch with me?
Yeah.
Like
go-
social.
Yeah.
Social.
Oh yeah. Oh my.
IG.
Yeah. At Undertaker on IG, Twitter. You got a 50-50 chance of actually being me, but I'm a dinosaur. Anytime I try to post things on my own, I kind of screw it up.
Oh, I never did that in my life.
Yeah, it's not my game, but I know it's kind of important. So either somebody from WWE or usually my wife will handle that for me. I think the first thing I tried to post a picture early on, when I first started, and I took this picture, I cut my head off, and posted it. It's still on my IG. I just like that.
That's awesome.
It is.
I like it.
Yeah. So, but it is. That's where we're at in this day and age. So I guess I got to play the game. Yeah. But
Really.
man, hey, I really enjoyed this, man.
Well, there you have it.
It's always nice talking to people that are fans about what we do, and obviously I'm a huge fan of yours, and continued success. Get you another ring,
Appreciate you, my man.
and then we'll work on your
Definitely.
crossover.
You remember
Definitely.
Haystacks Calhoun?
Haystacks, man,
Mountain
big
Man
haystack.
Mike?
You're just a plethora of
That was my life
wrestling.
at one time.
Yeah, all those WWF, right?
Yeah.
WWF.
Yeah.
Another episode of Hotboxing finished. I'd like to thank my guests, please. Thank you very much.
Undertaker.
And Bash.
Mike Tyson, we out.
We out of here.